this time, just to let you know, I've just done a little story online on the old YouTube thingy of I Want a Hippo for your younger brethren, about a little girl who has temper tantrums. And I hope you like it, or hope, your parents will like it. I'm hoping you'll like it as well. So I'll read you the blurb so you know what it's about, okay? Rachel loves spag bowl. She really loves spag bowl. But when she doesn't get what she wants, just watch out. Okay, so this is illustrations by Ivy Dillon, of Colchester based. She's brilliant. I love her illustrations. They're so cool. So that's out there on the YouTube channel already. But I'm guessing you want to get back into the bucket. So let's go for it. Now, we know we're at the point where Rachel is about to show Robin the bucket. And he's really not sure about anything that's going on. They're in the garden shed, and she's going to give him a demo of how the bucket works. Rachel reached up. At 10 years old, she didn't have to stand on the lawnmower anymore, and took down the bucket. She sat down next to Robin and offered it to him. "It's a bucket," he said. "Yes, I know. Have you got that happy thought in your head?" He nodded. "Yeah." "Hold on to that thought and press the jewel." He pressed the jewel, and Rachel heard the click. The bucket started to vibrate and smoke as usual. Robin nearly dropped it, just as she had all those years ago, but ready, and pushed it back into his hands. "Watch this," she said. Smoke rose from the bucket and swirled around the top. Robin's jaw dropped as an image of him and his mother emerged from the smoke. She was sitting on a bench with a much younger version of Robin sitting on her lap. They were somewhere with trees around them. He heard his mother say the words that he remembered so well. "You're the man of the house now. You'll look after us, won't you?" He felt a warm feeling inside, but then something else happened. His mother turned, holding the bucket, looked directly at him out of the smoke and said, "Go find your father, Robin. And remember, unicorns like apples." He wanted to call back to her, but the smoke faded before he could. "What the hell was that?" Rachel took the bucket and turned it round. Robin was really confused now. "What? Where did you get it? What is it? Why did she tell me to go and find my dad? What the hell have unicorns got to do with anything anyway?" Rachel looked at Robin. "It's a lot to take in, isn't it? The bucket seems to sort of show you places in time and space that you really want to see, I think." Robin looked a bit stunned. He felt like someone had spun him around and he had ended up in a different room. I know. And it was aghast. I know it seems there's a lot to take in, but there's more," Rachel said. "More? My mother is going potty. You've got a magic bucket. Everyone's talking about apples, and I'm supposed to go and find my dad. This is all a bit too weird." Rachel understood how he felt. "It gets weirder," she said. "I've seen a unicorn and 2 trolls." Robin just looked at her for a moment. Okay. I think I'd better go now." He got up to leave. "Sit down." Robin sat down. "Don't hurt me," he whimpered. Rachel was a little annoyed now. "I've seen them next door in the Silent Boy's house. You know, the boy you were bullying at school." Robin was getting even more nervous now. "Yeah, sorry, I won't do that again." "No, you won't," Rachel said. "After I saw the unicorn and the trolls, the boy came round and gave me this." She produced a jewel from her pocket. "That just looks like the one in that bucket." Rachel was impressed that he had actually noticed so quickly. "I know." She picked up the bucket and placed it it in the hole in the side. It seemed to fit perfectly. Rachel sat and thought for a moment. She came to a decision. "Look, Robin," she said in a serious tone, "I don't like you because you have become a bully. Usually bullies are cowards at heart. You are a boy and all boys are generally stupid." Robin looked at her, a little surprised. "Oh, thanks a lot." Rachel decided to take the bully by the horns, as it were. "Your mum is acting strangely, and my parents are acting a bit odd too. Other weird stuff has been happening as well, and I think it's something to do with the silent boy in the bucket." Rachel's mind was racing, and she was connecting up all of the events that had been happening since the silent boy moved in next door. "I don't understand it all, but I think you and I have something to do." Robin looked a little worried at this. "Really?" he said, not understanding anything that was happening right now. "Yes, really. I think you should press one jaw in the bucket and I should press the other at the same time. You want answers and so do I." Robin thought for a slow moment. "Oh, all right then. What do you think will happen?" Rachel looked at the bucket. "No idea. But at least we'll have tried something. Who knows? It might sort of reset everything." She picked up the bucket. "Let's do it," she said, feeling a little bit excited. She had had the bucket for so long, and this was something new, something scary but wonderful, and she wanted to see what came next. They both held onto the bucket and put their thumbs to the jewels, ready. "I'm ready if you are," Robin said nervously. "After the count of three, then. 1, 2, 3. They both pressed the jewel at the same time. The bucket vibrated in their hands, and the smoke billowed out of it. It filled the shed and tasted of vanilla. Robin and Rachel could hardly see each other. "Maybe we should get out of here," said Robin in a shaky voice. "Don't be a wuss, there's no fire, just this weird smoke." Robin waved his hand in front of his face. "I can't see anything." Rachel thought for a moment. What we could really do with is something to clear the smoke. Open the door. Robin went to open the door, but there was no door. "The door's gone," he said, bewildered. It started to rain. "And now it's raining inside your shed. This ain't normal." It started to rain quite hard. As it rained, the mist dissipated, but they still couldn't see anything, mainly because of the rain. It became torrential real quickly. Rachel had the strangest of feelings that she was no longer in the shed. She looked around herself. The potting bench had gone, and the old chair, and even the lawnmower had gone. More importantly, the shed had gone. "What happened? Where are we? Where's the shed?" Robin sounded a bit panicky. "Here," said Rachel, "take my hand." Robin did so, but felt a bit silly. He was 13 years old, and here he was holding a 10-year-old girl's hand. "What's happening, Rachel? Where's the shed? Where are we?" Rachel didn't know where they were. And worse than that, something was coming. She could hear something snorting and getting closer. Robin heard it too. "What the hell is that?" Rachel's mind was racing. "Crouch down. It might not see us in the rain." They both dropped to the ground. The snorting came closer, and a shape appeared through the downpour. "I don't want to get eaten," shouted Robin. "I'm only 13. Robin was beginning to annoy Rachel a bit. For an older boy, it wasn't very brave. "Shh." The shape came closer, and it was big. Very big. They both huddled together in the rain. Whatever it was stopped a few feet from them. Rachel peered through the pouring rain and noticed something small and very blue. "I think I know what it is," she said, standing up slowly. Robin stayed crouched. Rachel walked towards the huge shape and found that what she was standing in front of was a unicorn. It winked at her. and then swirled its head around and looked at her. Then it shivered, and when a unicorn shivers, it shivers from nose to tail. Oh, you poor thing. Robin, it's okay. It's the unicorn. Robin stood up and walked towards Rachel. As he did so, the unicorn snorted and backed off a pace. Rachel tried to soothe the animal. It's okay. Robin's friendly. Sort of. She put her hand up slowly and stroked the unicorn's nose. It's shivering. Oh, we've all got to get out of this rain. Give me your belt. Robin looked at Tad surprised. What? No, it keeps my trousers up. Rachel was once again unimpressed. Now, she said very firmly. Robin undid his belt and, all right, give you a harem. Rachel took the belt and gently tied it around the unicorn's neck. Come on, you poor thing. Let's get you to some shelter somewhere. After tying the bucket to her own belt, she looked around and could just about make out some trees not far away. The heaviness of the rain made it very difficult to see anything, though. Come on, Robin. This way. Robin clutched his trousers and reluctantly followed, feeling utterly miserable. Eventually, they found themselves under the cover of a small wood. The rain was beginning to ease. Where are we? Rachel looked at him. How on earth should I know? Like my dad says, work with what you've got, not with what you think you should have. The unicorn nudged her with its nose. Okay, boy. I think you're a boy. The unicorn nudged her again. What is it, boy? Are you hungry? Then she remembered. Remember. Unicorns like apples. She still had the apple that Robin had brought round and the one that her mother had given her. She pulled one from her pocket and then hesitated. Maybe you should give him the apple, Robin, sort of show him that you're friendly. Robin backed off a step. What, not a chance. I was bitten by a horse once and it bloody hurt. Rachel was tempted to thump him. Fine, I'll give it to him then. Here you go, boy. Rachel gave the beast the apple. The unicorn took it gently and crunched it up quite quickly. Crikey, you were hungry, she said. The unicorn's eyes flashed bright blue. Rachel heard a voice inside her own head. It was not her own voice. Yes, I was. Thank you. Rachel was taken aback. You can talk? The unicorn looked at her with his beautiful blue eyes. Robin laughed cynically. Of course I can talk. What kind of a dumb question is that? Rachel ignored him. She heard the voice in her head again. No, sorry. Unicorns cannot speak. We never developed the vocal apparatus to speak the way you do, but we can think quite loudly. Rachel stroked his face. Why did you not think quite loudly before? Back there, in the rain. The unicorn seemed surprised and snorted. You don't know, do you? Your parents could have told you this, a bit at least. Okay, it goes like this. Before you can hear a unicorn, you have to have done 3 things. Robin was getting impatient. Shouldn't we be trying to find our way home? He said. Rachel was surprised at his lack of curiosity. Be quiet, I'm listening. And she said to the unicorn, please carry on. Robin was persistent. To what? There's nothing here but us and a horse with a spike on his head. Rachel felt very much like putting the bucket on Robin's head and hitting it quite hard. The boy is quite annoying, isn't he? Said the unicorn. Rachel smiled. Yes, he is. What were the 3 things? The unicorn circled around Rachel. First, you have to protect me from harm, which you did in the schoolyard. When the unicorn said this, Rachel had an aha moment. You're the silent boy, aren't you? The unicorn snorted again. Yes, but even in your world, we find it difficult to speak. They said you would be clever. Then you had to find me shelter and lastly, to feed me when I was hungry. These things you have done. These things show you to be trustworthy and deserving. Rachel was curious. Can Robin hear you? The unicorn snorted again. No, that boy has much to learn before he can talk to unicorns. His father will be disappointed. This startled Rachel. You know where his father is? Sorry, I'm forgetting my manners. What is your name? The unicorn began to glow, a sort of green color. My human name, Rachel the Intrepid, is Brian. Rachel laughed out loud. No, your name is not Brian. A mythical creature from another world, renowned for magic and beauty, and your name is Brian. Sorry, but really, Brian? The unicorn was hurt by this a little. Actually, we unicorns choose our own human names, and I always liked the name Brian. Now then, small saviour, let's go. You have a long way to go and a long way to walk. It may take us a while. Brian put his head up in the air. Rachel felt she may have hurt Brian's feelings. I'm sorry. Brian is a perfectly noble name, and it suits you perfectly. Brian gave Rachel a friendly nuzzle and pushed her backwards with his nose. Robin was somewhat bewildered by this one-sided conversation. Rachel? He looked at her quizzically, shaking his head. The unicorn is speaking to me in my mind. He says that you have to learn things before he can speak to you. It's annoyed Robin quite a lot, mainly because everything had been going okay in his life, and then out of blue his mum had gone bonkers, and he'd had to take up Apple to a girl that he didn't even like because everybody else did like her. And then he'd been dragged off to a miserable magical world that shouldn't even exist, been rained on, and now is being ignored by a horse called Brian with a spike on his head in favour of a silly girl who was 3 years younger than him. Right, fine, lovely. Did he say that he knew where my father was? Because if he did, it would be about the only nice thing that had happened to me all day. Didn't you say that there were 2 trolls with this horse? Rachel felt Brian smile in her head, and then she heard him say, yes, she did. Robin screamed as the 2 trolls appeared on either side of him out of nowhere. They were huge and seemed to be made of granite and muscle and glowed gently green. The trolls both lifted Robin from either side, slipping their arms under his. They growled and laughed together, then barked like a dog in the Blue Eyes Boyd's house. Robin squealed, "Help!" Brian then trotted slowly around Robin and the trolls, flicking his head around in triumph. Rachel looked at Brian in a disapproving manner. Brian? Brian snorted. He is in no danger. These 2 friends have looked after me since I was a foal. They protect me from harm. The boy threatened me when I was a human. They're just keeping me safe. Robin dangled between the 2 trolls. Well, he said, dangling rather unhappily and hoping for an explanation. You're okay, said Rachel. Just hang around for a bit. Robin was not amused. Ha, bloody ha! One of the trolls licked Robin's face with a long, leathery, salivary tongue. Robin was disgusted. Oh my God, that's just disgusting, Rachel! Rachel looked at Brian. Was it not you, Rachel, that said, don't pick on little children? But he did, didn't he? Rachel just gave him her most disapproving look. Oh, all right then, he said, and stamped his hoof on the ground. The trolls let go of Robin, who fell to the floor in a heap. Brian was growing impatient. We must go now. You've some distance to travel before you see your sister again. Ha ha. And I could really use something more than an apple to eat. Lovely though apples are. Rachel stopped dead. Pardon? She said. I said, I really like apples, but I need something more substantial right now. Rachel stared at the unicorn. I don't have a sister. Brian snorted. And I don't have an alicorn. You are all she talks about. Ha! Is Rachel happy? Has Rachel found the bucket yet? How is Rachel getting on at school? Is Rachel popular? Have Mum and Dad told her about me yet? Of course you have a sister. She asked me to guide you to her. That's why you're here. Your mother and father have waited a long time to see your sister again, and you are here to take her back. Even for Rachel, this was a bit much to take on board all at once. You know Robin's father and my sister. Brian became a bit more formal. Yes, I know Mr. Jack McCracker. He is a good man and has helped us unicorns and other species many times. He is a great healer and a great strategist. I am charged with taking you both to meet your lost family. Your portal is their way home. Rachel looked down at the bucket hanging by her side. This? Yes, that, said Brian. With it, you cannot go home either. Now it is time. We must go. With that, Brian turned west and walked off. The trolls followed. As they walked off, Robin folded his arms. And why should we follow a spiky horse with two trolls? Rachel thought for a moment, for just a moment. Anything was possible. She had surely learned that by now. Maybe she did have a sister. It would probably explain a lot. She turned and walked after them, and as she walked, she called to Robin, "Try not to say anything rude or stupid." Robin stared at her with an expression of disbelief. Me? Say something stupid? Like what? Then he found himself standing alone in a strange wood, with odd creatures lurking around. Hang on! You might need me! Rachel turned briefly and raised an eyebrow. Something stupid? Just like that. Okay, I think we're there for the moment. We're going to get on to chapter 4 soon. Chapter 4. And, then it starts getting a bit more exciting, even still. So I hope you're enjoying this. And I know that we're all under the coronavirus. I keep wanting to call it the coronavirus. I don't know why that is. It drives me nuts. But if you're enjoying the stories, leave a comment, do a share, press the buttons, that sort of thing, And I hope you have a good evening. Have fun. Catch you later.